Welcome to Beef Cattle Life. The overview information on beef cattle lifespan in this country and the purpose for this presentation is to give you an overall view of the life of an average beef animal in this country. A little background information on how this came to be. Our pilot studies at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, California have shown a gap in the correct information in the beef life cycle. My personal background experience is growing up on a large cattle ranch in Nebraska, educated at the University of Nebraska in animal science, as well as operating several feedlots, have given me some first-hand experience. I've also had some experience in harvesting and meat processing, which has given me an informed connection with the beef lifespan. It is my objective to give you a clear picture of a true lineage in the areas you are about to observe. This is a picture of beef cows in a normal summer grazing situation in the western part of the United States, but not unlike most of the grazing areas of our country during the summer period. Our Earth's natural cattle rangelands consist of 40% of the Earth's land surface. Rangelands are suitable only for grazing by ruminant animals. Ruminant animals are the animals that can convert the legumes and the forages of these lands and grasses to protein for our usage. Grass and hay provide 54% of the forage in the U.S. for human food and fiber. The process of raising beef cattle. Now we are going to look deeper into the way beef cattle are raised and cared for in this country. Ranchers generally select the best heifers with dominant traits to use as future cows. Here we have a picture of a bull with some first calf breeding heifers. The heifer's first conception is at 15 months, making their first calving at 2 years of age. Select bulls from genetically enhanced registered herds are generally introduced for breeding of these heifers in commercial herds. Average summer pasture breeding in a natural grass setting would look something like this. Here we have the cow-calf pairs and a bull on a natural setting. One bull for 25 to 40 cows is the normal ratio over a 45-day breeding time. This allows 2 21-day estrus cycles to allow conception. This provides for calving to be closer together so we have more uniform animals when it comes time to wean the calves. Females spend about 6 months on summer grass as heifers or as mature cows with their calves. Most cows give birth each year for a lifespan of about 7 to 9 years or 7 to 9 calves. The gestation period is 9 months, with most calves being born in the spring of the year in the U.S. due to the seasons. This allows the mother cow to raise her calf on summer natural pasture, which allows her to give the most milk without other feeds, and as she is in a natural setting with the calf and for rebreeding. Birth is usually in the spring in areas where weather is unpredictable, allowing calves to go to pasture with mother cows in summer at about 2 months age. Births are mostly unassisted in a natural pasture setting. Cows are great mothers and have natural instincts to nurture their young. We have a picture here of a newborn that's probably just a few minutes off the ground, and already the cow is tending to him and he is nursing. Newborns must be watched very carefully, however, because there are health issues and weather issues in much of our country in the calving period. Branding is normally at about 2 months of age. All calves are marked and vaccinated for blackleg, and bull calves are castrated to become steers. The animals are sometimes ear tagged and marked in other ways for individual identification. Calves are weaned at about 6 months old, or on average of about 550 pounds. They are converted from milk to forage as the milk stomach ceases to operate, and the ruminant stomach at that point starts to operate and function, processing hay and forage. Weaned calves are under a lot of stress from the separation of their mothers and diet change. This is normally in the fall of the year, so bad weather, storms, or dust can be a real problem, creating health issues. Sick animals may require medical attention. Calves during the winter months are fed forages and hay so that they can maintain their weight and growth. Young heifers and steers, heifers or steers that are 1 year old, will remain on summer natural pasture for 6 months, are then called yearlings. Their actual age is 18 months. The next step is the feedlot. Yearlings weighing 800 to 850 pounds coming from the pasture will be started on a conversion ratio from hay to silage and corn. Cattle are normally put in pens of about 300 head each so that they have plenty of room to move in areas that have good drainage so that they do not have mud to contend with, kept clean and safe. The feedlot diet over the last 120 to 150 days of the animal's life consists of corn, silage, which is chopped corn stalks, including the corn, and abundant fresh water. Vitamins and minerals are also added for nutrition. Steroid usage. Steroids are implanted under the skin of the animal ear for growth. The active ingredients of hormones are either estrogens or androgens. Their two ingredients can be natural or synthetic, and in the case of estrogens, they can also be plant-based. Implants work by changing what happens to the nutrients that cattle eat. Implanted cattle are leaner. Muscle is more efficient for an animal to produce compared to fat. Estrogenic activity of common foods. Here in nanograms per 500 grams is several issues of food and estrogenic activity compared. As you can see at the bottom, beef from a steroid implanted steer contains only 7 nanograms, and a non-implanted steer is only 5. Estrogen production in humans and potential estrogen intake from implanted beef. Here we have a comparison of a pregnant woman, a non-pregnant woman, an adult male, and prepubertal children in compared to the implanted cattle. As you can see, the 7 nanograms in the beef implanted cattle is nearly negligible compared to what we produce on an average day in just our human lives. Therapeutic antibiotic usage. Therapeutic antibiotics are often necessary to maintain cattle health. Sick animals do not gain weight efficiently and are a threat to other animals. Just as when you get sick you do not do well, animals have to be kept well in order to not affect other animals in the feedlot and of course to get back to where they're gaining efficiently. Only about 10.4% of feedlot animals are treated with antibiotics. Animals are checked daily and removed to hospital pens for treatment so they are separated from the rest of the herd. Sub-therapeutic antibiotic usage as a feed additive. 83% of the U.S. feedlots use sub-therapeutic antibiotics to control liver abscess disease, which greatly improves weight gain and efficiency. The Food Safety Inspection Service under the USDA states sub-therapeutic residues are less than 1%. By FDA standard law, no residue greater than 3 milligrams can remain in the entire beef animal. None of the antibiotics used on beef cattle are used for treating human health issues. Let's talk about the environmental effects and food supply from a sub-therapeutic antibiotic level. First of all, when we use sub-therapeutic antibiotics, it reduces the level of gasoline and fertilizer necessary to produce feed because we have to produce less of it to get more pounds of beef. It reduces the total manure generated per head of cattle and in turn reduces total methane gas output, which is a major situation for our ozone. Usage of these sub-therapeutic antibiotics also reduces the number of animals needed to produce the same level of beef product. An alternative beef supply is available for those of you who are concerned about steroids and antibiotics. Under the USDA label of organic or naturally raised, You would receive no growth promotion of steroids or antibiotics in the meat. If you are concerned about possible antibiotic residue and or steroids, you can purchase USDA organic or naturally raised beef and be assured that they have been certified to have never contained any steroids or antibiotics. This is the Antibiotic Bibliography. The regulatory bodies have affirmed usage, including Codex Alimentarius Commission, which was created by the World Health Organization. We also have the National Antibiotic Resistance Monitoring System under the FDA, the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, as well as the United States Department of Agriculture. All of these bodies have concurred with the information I have given on the preceding slides. Animals are selected at a correct weight, what they call a finished weight, to be separated and loaded on the truck from the feedlot and to be taken to the processing plant. Each live animal is FDA inspected upon arrival to make sure they're wholesome and well. After passing inspection, they are stunned and hung by their hind feet immediately for bleeding out. The head is removed, the hide is stripped, and the entrails removed. Then the carcass goes into cold storage for 14 to 21 days of aging. USDA inspections occur at all stages of this process. USDA inspector here in this picture to the right is checking beef halves for correct standards before cold storage. He would then mark the animals on the outside of each carcass to give it his final inspection. This process ensures that consumers will receive high-quality beef. After halves come out of the cold storage and the aging process, meat cutters cut up the beef to get ready for consumer packaging. This is a pie chart of the beef cattle life cycle. As you can see, we have 6 months from birth to weaning. This would be the nursing phase. 6 months in the winter backgrounding, hay and supplements growing stage. 6 months in summer grazing, back on natural grass, and the last 3 to 4 months is in the feedlot when they would be getting the corn and be finishing out. This is a simplified overview of the beef cuts. You will notice where steaks, rump roasts, chuck roasts, etc. are all derived from. The beef is then cut up into these steaks, roasts, and other cuts, and ground up ground meat for inspection. The packaging process. The ground meat and beef cuts are inspected and packaged. After packaging, they are immediately shipped to retail and restaurant outlets. And this is a finished product. A steak on a grill or hamburgers on a grill. The goal in this process is to provide a healthy choice that consumers will enjoy.